Hunters and the Hunted. This is another default map. The developers already have it set up a certain way, so there's no way to modify this, including, I believe, the difficulty. So this is just set, nothing more we can do, and we're just going to jump right into it. So as we get into the map here, we see that there's a few tasks down. We see that there's only one damaged watchtower and a broken watchtower. I'm not worried about those right now, and in fact, I'm probably just going to disable building repairs because I don't know how we're sitting here just yet. We've got a bunch of scrap over here, and to even expand, I want to get that cleared out. And I remember this is going to be kind of annoying and gets in the way a little bit because I don't typically visit this early on. I'm not. It's called General Store, maybe? Doesn't matter. I'm going to set this to Olden and Fertile. At least we have a cistern up and somewhere to get water from. And then part of the thing that makes this scenario nice is this is gonna be a great defense against raider waves. So when I do put in my watchtowers, I really only have to protect this. I remember protecting this with multiple, kind of like a funnel, like there would be one here, then maybe like two here at 100% efficiency, then maybe like three here, and they're never going to get through that. So this is going to be a long one. We really have to focus on our tech. We have to get to the bottom of the tree there. We need to get our electricity up. We need to get our defenses fully researched, though clearly watchtower is already up. And in fact, let's go to defense really quick. So despite having two watchtowers up, it's not actually researched. Neither is ammunitions factory or siren tower or barricade. I think since this is post raider nerf, I'm just going to go for ammunitions factory and just make bullets, just lethal bullets. I will make some barricades because that never hurt. And then the other thing is just one line of defense. I don't think is going to cut it. I like to make a line of defense and then kind of like put a few towers within the settlement in case they break through here. The other thing is, even if they break through and loot some stuff and destroy some stuff, they've got to get out some way. So if you've got like a double protection right here, a triple protection right here, and a double protection, that means they'll have to go through two layers of watchtowers and then another two, or two and three. And they typically don't make it through that. So with 41 and 4, I know that food is going to be an issue right away. So let's go to logistics and remove road. I don't want really any of this stuff. So we're just going to make a big swath right here and then get rid of that. As soon as these are done, I'm going to do kind of my future proof build of 28 by 32 for 4 refineries and or for farming at first, then which will then eventually be replaced by refineries. I definitely want refineries in this game to just be pumping out that metal, to be making a lot of bullets, and I want to get my population up because we're going to need probably like 400 people to man the eventual towers that I have. Not that 400 people have to be in the towers, they can be doing other jobs. And then as soon as the raiders come, I can staff them all here. The other thing is this doesn't activate until all the boxes are checked. So a good way to control that is don't sign anyone to militia until you're ready. So this is going to be really, this is just the first and the longest stage. You don't have to worry about your watchtower. Obviously, we're going to have a ton of watchtowers built. We're already going to have our ammunition factory. We're going to produce way more than 200 metal bullets. We will produce 200 rubber bullets just to check that box, and then that's it. And in fact, a good way to do that is to come down here and just set that to 200. So that's done. And then we're definitely going to end up increasing this to probably at least like 5,000. The other thing I'm going to want to produce this game is mines and get that mining tunnel construction. I remember having like 2 right up here last time and then maybe like a few down here or something, but we're going to need a lot of sulfur. At that point, we might as well have the iodine tablets and we might as well have one working on coal. So it's probably going to be like 1 coal, 1 iodine, and 2 sulfur. I bet we'll probably end up with at least four mines. So that would be my biggest tip. The first time I ever played this, I accidentally like just assigned them and it automatically activated, and I was not ready. I had like 3 watchtowers up, and that is how I initially lost. This will at least be a good source of scrap. Once these roads are down, I can slap down a scrapyard and get that out of the way and start working on these. However, this can't. I almost just want to mark it for salvaging, but I'm worried that it'll have a utensil if I do that. I gotta scout it first. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I remember waiting so long just to get this out of the way last time, and then it just had like some scrap and cloth. So 41 settlers. We certainly want to set a bunch to building right off the bat because I want those roads gone. And let's see, I do have 2 cabins. I'm probably just going to destroy these cabins and start over. I bet my housing will be down here-ish or something somewhere. And I kind of want to get rid of this shelter too. But we'll work on that. And then of course, let's just max out the water carriers. So I'm just going to make the rest builders. As soon as these roads are gone, that's when I can kind of start doing my own thing at least. So I'll check back in a minute. So the most pressing thing right away is going to be food. I went for the double fishing hut because that's pretty good bulk for the workforce. I also went for these 2 cultivated fields were activatable right away and just made them both cabbage. I've also made a 3rd cabbage temporarily. This can eventually go to zucchini, and I'm going to get this orchard started. I also had a pretty good surplus of coal to immediately upgrade the cistern and also get 2 additional water towers. They could be a little tighter, but I'm not too worried about that. I got that scrapyard up to start getting this stuff out of the way, though I did start with a pretty good surplus of refined materials. I had just enough wood to get a couple foresters lodges up. I figure I might as well just build them while I have the resources before I realize that I don't. So we're just going to get that up, and then I have a feeling that they're going to be complaining about protective clothing and tools here pretty soon. So while I have the refined materials for that, I can just skip the recycler and just go right for it. And in the meantime, I can stockpile some scrap while getting this stuff out of the way. So something to think about. Luckily, the scrapyard isn't touching anything. It just has the positive influence from a campfire. But I think this is actually the side. I also realized there's a bunch of like little decorations sitting around these 4 things, so I've destroyed those just to get them out of the way. I don't want that impeding anything. And I didn't even realize at first, but there's also a temporary storage room, which certainly isn't optimal. I've already put up my own right here, like I always do, next to the charcoal kiln and the wood. And eventually there's going to be a herbal hut and a couple gatherers posts over here. I've actually already got some rubber bullets. I'm worried about this, like, I think I would lose, I don't know if I'd lose the stuff if I destroy it. Whatever. It's just going to stay there. So in this build, I'm going to skip the recycler and go right for the tailor shop. And why don't we... They can just start going back to back right here. So it's going to be like tailor shop. I can't put down that second one until that little flag is gone. Annoying. Oh well, that's okay. 1 for now should be fine. So why don't we do tailor shop, workshop. Pretty close to where it's going to be gathering the scrap, dropping it off, or in this one, and doing that. The other thing I have to start thinking about is housing. I've got 31 people not housed, and I certainly want them reproducing. But now that I'm going to be putting these buildings down, that's going to be a -2 and a -2. That means I'm going to break even, and that's only the first couple, so pretty soon this is going to be an unattractive place to live. So why don't we start thinking about some decorations here. I'm wood starved at the moment as I kind of redistribute my population, and in fact builders are kind of done with the bulk of their work right now. So why don't we go back down to like 5. And then I've got plenty of people to do these jobs, I think. Okay, I already reduced this to 1. I'm waiting for this orchard to finish. That'll get 1 person. And I've got 8 people on fishing. I'm not too worried about food. Let's put a little more on water. I just want to get this scrap cleared out. So 4 and 4 there should be fine. As soon as that tailor shop is done, I'll have some people for tailor. And then decorations. It's actually... This should be fine. Let's do like 3 right here. Is that still touching it? Oh wow, it is. It says 7. So that's going to be 3 times 3, 9, 13 with this, and I'll be able to get some buildings here without it being too obnoxious. I think recyclers will go this way once all this stuff is done. Next thing I could start thinking about food is the hunter-pasture combo. So let's see what I have for animals. I've got chicken and deer. I'd like to get those chicken in first for the eggs. I think I remember squeezing in my pastures right here last time, which looked super awful, but I don't really get to choose. That's what I've got. So that's my starting. I would certainly focus on that food and water. You've got 47 people to feed immediately and not much food to do it. So I went into the red there for a second, but then those fishers started cranking away and we were fine. Luckily, we're not like deep into any season, so I'm not too worried about radiation just yet, though a decontamination post would also be something to think about here pretty soon. Because the scenario is so generous, I guess, with the refined materials and the staffing right off the bat, I didn't really see a reason to not put these up immediately. So it's only season 10, and I started with just enough metal tools to prohibit it, and then get my research station up. So this is going to go up first. I also had just gotten my forum up, and there had already been a quest called No Learning Opportunities or something, but it was just about to expire, and my school was already up by like season 4 or 5 or something. So I clicked it, and that automatically finished, giving me a knowledge. That'll be a great start. I'm actually probably going to go for advanced schools right away. So I'm doing fine on the food. I'll just kind of restaff as I grow my population because I want. Oops, I did teachers. There we go. Researchers are right away. We're going to go right for that advanced school. Of course, yeah, like I mentioned, forum up. Let's check this too. What do they want? The deactivate coal on your water towers. Okay, I'll get to that. So as this kind of processes, I'm hoping to get that trading post up next, and then I'll immediately activate my expedition station. Wood was a little bit of an issue early on, but I set one of these to just reforest. Got some trees going. Now they're both to cut down and reforest. And in the meantime, I also use tasks during my first drought to just gather some wood. So a lot of these things are certainly coming earlier than expected, but I figure you also start with so much protective clothing and so many. I haven't even run out of my initial wave of tools yet, and I even started making them myself. Protective clothing they finally ran out of, though I had a ton of that to start as well. So I had already gotten my tailor shop down and just kind of sitting there for a bit until they requested those masks, and then just pumped them out. Also, a decontamination post kind of early, though we're hardly fighting radiation. Anyway, I think they provide a lot of that because you really got to get this research going, or else this is going to be like a 200 season scenario. So we're a little bit ahead of schedule, I would say, but just sticking with farms and fishers for food at the moment, and just kind of keeping these partially staffed. This is definitely some future proofing. Otherwise, we're just kind of plugging away. All right, so we're skipping forward here a bit with a pretty standard build. We've got electricity where we want it for now on the upgraded tailor shops, and that has given us quite the surplus of masks and face scarves. Despite not really needing it, I've kind of just gone on to some radiation suits here, just just in case we get a wave of red through, but I'm not too worried about it. Let's check causes of deaths. I haven't seen anything but age so far. 65% are in activated carbon mass, so we don't have to worry about that yellow radiation. Fertility's doing fine. A lot of people have metal tools, and many are 100% educated. So I was just going to show why I love making this the template for my farms early on. I've already got electricity wrapped around this thing because I wasn't exactly sure where the refineries are going to need it. But I'm just going to get rid of all of these fields and this irrigator. And then I can come to resources, and 4 refineries will fit in here perfectly with a little bit of space. Oh, wait, that's why. Okay. I was going to say, that seems like too much space. Let me face it this way. Put this right here. This right here, and this right here. And for now, that's going to be a little overkill. I don't think I need 4 refineries. Let's just start with 2 for now. I really need to start pumping out that metal because, in fact, let's change. Actually, yeah. I'm going to need, I don't really need the plastic right now. We'll leave that as electronics. I just put down some more electricity. But I'm really going to need that metal once we start trying to crank out some bullets, which is actually already available, and that is why. Isn't that in technician as well? What job force is it? Yep, that's technician as well. So we're going to get these refineries down. I've let the population spike a little bit, but that's because I need so many refiners. Eventually I could have 72 just in that workforce. I'm also trying to get a pretty significant population because I'm going to need a lot of mining here pretty soon. And with refineries done, I've finished all my utensils, and I'm just going to get that mining tunnel construction because I'm eventually going to want mining iodine, mining coal, and mining sulfur. So this will be a good one. And with that done, I could actually start building a couple mines either together up here or possibly down here, but I'd rather just kind of have them consolidated. So I can come back to resources, which I'm already on, and just kind of start lining these up. And it says it's going to be a 25% efficiency. Oops. But that is only until my research is done. So I'll actually just pause this. Not that I'm starved on sulfur anyway, but yeah, pretty, I mean, you're still playing the game pretty standard. However, it's going to be really useful to get up some scrap catcher. Luckily, there's plenty of scrap on the map, and this one actually needs to be adjusted. At this, I'm getting pretty close to either moving this or just researching those scrap catchers. There's so much down here. I think I took like 3,000 from down here already. And especially once these refiners are up. In fact, I'm just going to pause plastic on here and pause electronics. I'm not too worried about that because I definitely want a couple dedicated to just cloth and mostly metal. Here's my second one. They can have 16 each. That would be 32 plus the 8 I have here. So I only need 40 people. Okay, yeah, I still have less than that. 40 people refining. Okay, so those 2 are maxed at the moment. And I'm going to pause plastic and electronics here. And if anything, instead of metal down here, I could have like double electronic, double plastic, which I don't even need at the moment, but just so I don't think about it later. And then if anything, this is just all going to be metal. I think I'll have plenty of cloth from 2 refineries working metal and cloth. And then from there, I'm just making sure these guys are producing rubber bullets. I've got 60 out of 5,000. And my next stage would just be to start slapping down these guard towers. I've decided I'm not even going to go for the investment of electricity for the siren towers. It's just not worth it. I can definitely beat these raider waves without it. So let's go to defense, and Luckily, I think I'll probably have kind of a first wave right here, a second wave possibly a little bit further out, and then kind of what I talked about here, if I can squeeze them in right here kind of on the way, and then maybe like I don't know, kind of going like this and then coming out here like this with the second wave on the inside, and then I'll just kind of start popping them around in here wherever it's 100% efficient, like one right here, but then maybe another one right here, and then another one right here, that kind of thing.
We've arrived.
So we're currently at season 101, and basically all I need to happen right now is for my population to go up to at least 320 people to fully man my watchtowers. I do have enough bullets because at 32 towers times 100 bullets each, that would be 3,200 bullets. So that's fine. And the way I'm going to get my population to spike here really quick is to get a few extra shelters up and turn it to all old and infertile. And they filled up pretty much instantly, which means by trying to control my population throughout this, a ton have been homeless and they basically just grow up homeless and die homeless. And that doesn't really help for your population. Um, so while you don't want it to spike too much, homelessness is a good way to control that for a little bit. I had the only thing I think I had an issue with was food at one point, and then getting those kitchens up just completely solves that. It just spikes so much. So watching the population, I don't think I've had any causes of death of anything but age. Everyone's in a radiation suit, still perfectly fertile. Everyone's got metal tools. Almost everyone's 100% educated. I'm basically done with expeditions. If I wanted to, I could go out and like gather a little bit of scrap. I'm pretty much done with research. There's really not nothing else I want. One thing I do find be really useful in this scenario is paved roads plus motivation. And what that's going to do is once the raiders arrive, I can pause the game before I've even accepted it. I can switch basically everyone off what they're doing and put them all on militia, and then still kind of wait until they get into position, because what they're going to have to do is go grab their bullets first and then get to their watchtower. They've got to stock those first. So I want to make sure that all my towers are fully staffed and with bullets. And by giving them those paved roads and that speed boost, that's going to get them there really quick before the raiders can get in. So, as far as electricity goes, I haven't gotten too overboard. I really just wanted it on my refineries. I wanted it on my upgraded tailor shop, and I wanted it on my upgraded workshops and my ammunition factories. I stopped at 3 ammunition factories. So everything certainly. Oh, and of course, yeah, always my my research station here that always gets electricity, and that's pretty much it. I'm not too worried about happiness because actually we might as well upgrade these really quick. That just finished. As soon as this is done building, we'll upgrade that. They've got a couple decorations. This is at -2 until this memorial finishes, and then there'll be plenty. Those the scrap catchers are really unattractive. Another thing I kind of wish I had done is switch this build order. Instead of refineries and then scrap catchers, I wish I had done the opposite. It just takes so long to get these up and functional. With the amount of resources it takes to research it and being 3 knowledge, plus the initial investment for each of these guys, and then actually building them as well is super expensive. And when the refineries are pumping out all those resources into refined materials instead of actually just having them raw, plus that whole time you're like I was getting to having to reach all the way down here, not to mention the other ones were even worse. So I don't know what even happened. Oh well, who cares? Let's give them a feast. Let's give them a field testing. Let's check this trader. Lupine. I thought I already had that. Whatever. I'll take it. Um, so it's still just I'm getting a ton of kids all this, a lot of kids all of a sudden, because everyone just moved to these shelters, and I fully have these sturdy houses just for reproduction. Another thing I'm going to wait for is to see if there's going to be a sandstorm at the end of this. And in fact, I'm kind of worried. I don't want my population to explode that much. That's already plenty. If I get those 120 kids, I'll be fine. Oh my goodness. All right, let's just set this to all settlers while it's being upgraded. So that's going to be a lot of people all at once. I'm a little worried about water this whole time. It just gets super tight up here. I built a ton of water towers. But then the other thing, I mean, yeah, it just gets really congested. So I don't have much else place to put them. I did get the well perk for free. Forget what it's called, tunnel system or something like that. And I just started spamming wells too. Because why not for that water production? So let's check what just got damaged. I'm just gonna let all of my resources be allocated towards that. There's a lot of waiting in this scenario, or just in a normal game when you're trying to beat the raiders for the achievement. There's just a whole lot of waiting because every time one of those sandstorm comes through, it basically makes you start from scratch on trying to get these towers up and everything. Plus, I don't want to start a raider wave with those already damaged, or else the raiders are going to plow right through it. The other thing I didn't go for is those barricades, because it's so expensive to get those walls set up of barricades, and then for a sandstorm to come through, it just damages them, and your workers spend an incredible amount of time trying to rebuild that. So, man, I'm hoping these kids mature fast because I need the workforce badly. And in fact, I want most of them to go to builders for now. So as soon as this gets kind of cleaned up a little bit, it's not awful right now. Those sturdy houses, they're supposed to be more resilient to sandstorm damage, and I feel like I'm just not seeing it. Like, it's still, I mean, 10 scrap and 4 wood times 36, that's still a lot of wood and scrap for every sandstorm. So between that and waiting for the barricades to get all those down, and the watchtowers, and make the metal bullets, it's a whole lot of waiting. But 3 scrap yards each, reachable to, I mean, this isn't exactly reachable, but it's the best I could do. Reachable to the scrap catchers is a good way to do it. And with that sandstorm, they all just filled up again, so I don't have to worry about scrap anytime soon. It's more like wood is getting a little tight at this point. But I'm not, whatever. I'm not going to expand anymore. I'm not going to do any more electricity. I'm just going to kind of roll with what we've got. Make sure we've got plenty of technicians. Make sure we've got plenty of miners. That mining tunnel construction was researched, so I've got one of each up here. Coal, sulfur, and iodine. I'm immune to radiation at this point with the iodine tablets, and the surplus of all my rad suits are actually going away because of that latest generation of 200 kids that just came through. So as soon as I get those 320 adults, we can go for this first wave, and I'm really not too worried. I've got plenty of bullets in stock. Plus, I like to overstock a little bit because the next wave is going to come pretty soon after. Still repairing, so they can't even get to those upgraded shelters. Not that I'm too worried about it. And actually, we can set this to all settlers and upgrade this one as well. At least the homelessness just dropped pretty drastically. Only 40 people. I made a bunch of warehouses just for, I knew I'd be stockpiling a ton of scrap because of sandstorms, eventual raider damage, upgrades, watchtowers, all that kind of stuff. And then I set my production limit to 2,000, and then same with wood. And in fact, if you're really desperate for wood, you can always take one of these guys, and why don't we just drop it right here and get some extra wood while we're at it. And here comes another drought. By the time I even recover from the previous drought, it's time for another drought. Alright, good. Population is going up, up, up. Up, 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 up. I'll always want to make sure I have those water carriers and well keepers maxed out. I thought about going for electric water pumps. It's just, it's not worth it. I need the 320 people anyway, so they've got to keep busy. Otherwise, might as well just have them well keeping, stuff like that. I lost some tailors. I lost a lot of refiners recently. I could use another scrap collector. Definitely want those foresters. Herbalist is fine. Technician, miner. Teacher is fine. More morticians. They've got a lot of work ahead of them. Just those age deaths are coming through faster than I can clean up after them. She's really got... I could take this for backup temporarily. Why not? And as far as research goes, I'm just not interested in electricity and the electric water pump. I don't need the upgraded warehouse. Diligence isn't going to help. Already done with expeditions, so backpack's not going to do anything. Loitering ban would actually probably... Does it make them unhappy? Yeah. I mean, whatever. I'll research it. That would actually be a good to do with the other one. The motivation and loitering ban. That means they're just going to go right to those towers, and that's where I need them. I don't need them dilly-dallying. Alright, we're almost at 320. Everything's almost repaired. I'm probably just going to activate the Raider Way. I'll get through this drought first. I need to get through the drought first. Where can I have people working now? Doesn't hurt to have a lot of cooks. Honestly, to make this go a little faster, I could have made another wood expansion, but I'm not too worried about it. And this has been plenty of farming. I initially had farm fields right here, but once I was ready to destroy this one, I made one right here, and I've just been extending to kind of keep up on seeds I've been collecting in the meantime. Loitering ban, great. Check this every once in a while. Add another mortician. I don't want additional settlers to join the settlement. Okay. Is that second one done yet? No. Let's get these bodies cleaned up though. Can I have these guys work on the top population? Eventually when this is done, work on this bottom population. I need a lot of morticians. Just those shelters. Okay. I think we're going to have everyone housed here pretty soon. I could always hook that up to electricity, make them happy, but I'm not too worried about it. Oops. Okay. I had such a surplus of those radiation suits. They just got wiped out. I was capped at like over 100, and all of a sudden 100 kids were born. And that was that. Okay. Let's get them moved in. That is automatically filled up, I think. Once this last one... Oh, that's already upgraded. Okay, I only have 12 homeless people. That should help the happiness a little bit. Alright. Let me just make sure... Well, I'm going to take everyone off here pretty soon anyway. But this is to just ensure I would have like a full staff everywhere. I don't need more there. Okay. I don't want to do this during a drought, so let's wait. Nothing is broken. Nothing is finished upgrading. I like the look of these upgraded buildings. Looks like production is happening. People are running in and out. No idea what's about to happen. That's all I can do. At least I'm going up on water. As long as I'm not in a drought. Actually, I'm kind of breaking even. Yeah, I'm barely going up. Alright, that's a good thing. As long as I'm not just plummeting with the population I just just went up to. And that's good because I didn't have these rabbits yet. 4,000 bullets, sure, you can have 200 bullets. That's a lot of bullets. I don't think raiders are getting through here. Here comes the drought. Please no sandstorm. Cross your fingers. There goes my water supply. At least these wells are working hard. As soon as that trade is done, we're going to get rid of these chickens. And go to rabbits, the last one I needed. Got 5 knowledge just sitting here. I don't want to think about this too hard. Nothing's even going to matter here pretty soon. Whatever. Immunity. Could use the medicine anyway. It's just sitting there. Yeah, here it comes. Okay. Everyone's going to builder. Got 20 morticians just cleaning up those bodies. I shouldn't have any pandemics breaking out, but apparently I do. Good thing I just researched immunity. There goes my wood supply. All gone. Alright. You know what? Immunity has been researched, yay, but I don't want to use that right now because I'm about to do 2 other decrees. This is getting cleaned up really quick. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to check everything has been completed, and then some. I produced 4,000 out of 200 bullets. And we're going to come to my staff. We're going to pause the game. In fact, I'm going to save really quick just in case anything goes horribly wrong. Nothing wrong with doing this. Pause the game, take everyone off. What can I afford? I've got 392. Let's take everyone off food. I'm not worried about food. Let's take everyone off resource collecting. I'm not worried about that. I've got 191 people available. Let's take everyone off here. Sorry, morticians. You can clean up the bodies later. Got 246. Let's take everyone off well keeping. I'd rather them gathering from there. And let's just go up to 320 people from here. Because I have, correct, yep, 32 watchtowers, and let's assign them to militia. Here they come. The raiders are coming. Okay. I still have the game paused, and I'm going to come to my bulletin board, and I'm going to enact loitering ban and immunity. Nope. Ooh, close one. Motivation. Okay. So they're not allowed to go home. They're going to be upset about it. I don't care. Their happiness will bounce back. And then I am going to unpause the game. And then I'm going to keep an eye on these watchtowers, which is fully staffed, but they don't have any bullets yet. Where are these guys coming from? So they're going to run right through my watchtowers. Okay. Leave us a piece. Okay. So they died. Great, apparently. Okay. And Rusty Ralph will ask for something, and I think, oh yeah, he gives you some knowledge and researches Siren Tower for you. I'm not going to do that. So now I'm immediately going to pause the game again. 3 people died in my militia, and I'm just going to fully staff everything all over again. Except for that. Okay. So population should fix itself here pretty soon. I'll just have another wave now that everyone's in kind of upgraded shelters. Alright. Hi, Rusty Ralph. And then we just have to wait at this point. So I know I'm pretty pretty defend. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. I don't even I didn't mean to click that. And we'll just check back in a few seasons here. Alright, season 128 here, kind of the calm before yet another storm. I've let my population kind of balance out by initially making this all settlers so that the reproduction wasn't so out of control. I'm likely going to get another drought here, and I'm really hoping they can farm up that wood in time. Let's see what we got for a trade really quick. I could use the protective clothing. They really chewed through that stuff while during that kind of population boom, so I'm bouncing back from that a little bit. Not that I've had really any problems from radiation anyway, and even if someone does get sick, I've got the iodine tablets on hand. So I have not done any decrees recently. I'm just waiting for that raider wave to get ready to come through. And as soon as they do, I'll pop the same 2 as I did last time. Happiness, yep, here comes the sandstorm, of course. I'm not even going to deal with it just yet. Whatever is broken because raiders are going to come through anyway and they can just get it done all at once. So, what I also did in the meantime is leave basically 2 people per watchtower to keep those metal bullets all stocked, so everything has 100 metal bullets in it. And when you look down here, it says I only have 2,000 in stock, but that's not even accounting for the 3,200 that I have in here. So I have the 3,200 plus another 2,100, and so I'm doing just fine on metal bullets. And we'll just wait for these raiders to come in. Here they come. So I'm going to say okay, I'm going to pause the game, and then I'm going to reallocate everyone. So I don't need well keepers, water carriers, pretty much anyone in food right now. Make sure this is fully staffed, no logistics, nothing down here. $2.99. 320. All right. I do, however, want to leave as many foresters as I can. I need that wood. And in fact, instead of scrap collectors, I'm going to leave some people on tasks for even more wood gathering. I could really use it. There we go. Okay. So, once I'm ready to do this, let's go back to motivation. And do I even need the loitering ban? I don't know. They get so annoyed every time I do this. I don't care. Gotta save the city. Everyone get ready. Alright. And there's 3 different little groups this time. I don't think they're all especially strong or anything. If anything, they're like weaker than just one raider wave. I don't know. That's a lot of people though. Here they come. There goes 1. There goes 2. Just didn't even have to use half my bullets. That's it. Okay. Post nerf, this is certainly doable. What do you want, Rusty? Do I even have to give you this stuff? I don't want to give you any wood. Can I just give you scrap? Alright, good. Okay. So after that, Rusty will give you barricade. Not that we even need it. get everyone back on water. Everyone we can in food. Food isn't. Whatever, I'll do this. Okay, so next one is season 144. So I'm just going to focus on getting everything repaired here and just kind of keep rolling. Okay, here we are on the eve of the last attack. And they are going to, of course, attack during a drought. I've already got everyone on militia because why not? Other than some water carriers and well keepers, we just have to make it through this last one and our civilization will be okay. So just, I don't know, a little breakdown. I've got kind of my couple layers out here like I was talking about, and maybe a third and then second and then first right here, and then of course just scattered through a little bit. Same thing down here, double layer. There's going to be three more groups attacking. That's exactly where I wanted them to approach from. Honestly, this is a good spot. And even if they make it through these first two, which they're clearly not, that's it. So I'll just continue playing for now. Just if you want to take one last look at the breakdown, it looks like they destroyed my mines and a couple towers, and that was it. So obviously this has been a little overkill, but might as well be safe than sorry. I don't think season 144 is too unreasonable anyway, but I don't think they were taking this civilization, that's for sure. This is more like kind of a pre-nerf build where they would actually destroy like the first two layers and get into the base, and that's when this kind of like a few right here would help, and then on their exit they certainly weren't getting out alive, that's for sure. So also I think the population was a little unnecessary, but however many you end up building, you certainly want to be able to employ them. Let's check deaths. I know there's another raider attack. And oh, 4 people died of disease at the very end. Oh my gosh, I wonder if that's because I took everyone off healthcare. Those are the first, right at the very end, the first deaths I've seen from non-age and non-raider attack. What a shame. Probably because there's no medics to care for him. Oh well. Anyway, I hope any of that helped at all. And thank you for watching.